8. Harness the compelling power of identity. When I was 8 years old, I saw something that would utterly consume my life for the next 5 or 6 years, to the detriment of school, chores, and even hygiene. I saw it from a friend's house across an open stretch of land, some 2 blocks away. It was a pair of scruffy skateboarders in full fly. They wore baggy clothes, sported long hair hanging over their eyes, and each bore the aura of a cooler-than-life attitude about them as they carved up the street and spun their boards around in impossible gymnastic combinations. My pupils dilated in wonder, and every fibre in my little body yearned to be one of them. I nagged my dad until he made me a skateboard, and then I nagged him to drive me back to where they were so that I could skate blindly up and down the street until I got to meet them. It worked. They immediately pointed out how embarrassing my homemade skateboard really was. I had to have a real one, and I nagged my dad until that happened. I had an image in my mind of who I wanted to be, and nothing on God's green earth was going to stand in my iron-willed 8-year-old way. The skaters from across the open lot later introduced me to something even greater than themselves, videos of professionals from California. And I had thought these local guys were cool. I hadn't seen anything yet. Before my eyes, in all its stretched and faded VHS tape glory, paraded icons of the skateboarding world like America's Tony Hawk and Danny Way, and Canadian Colin McKay. The gravity-mocking aerial displays of Tony Hawk silenced me completely. The snap and precision of Colin McKay's technical work nearly blew my mind. To appreciate fully what I mean by snap and precision, go onto YouTube and search Colin McKay Powell Peralta 8. The first 8 seconds or so are him joking around. Then the tone changes. I was in awe. Once again, and with every fibre of my being, I yearned to be them. The attitude, the rebellious confidence, the unbelievable technical proficiency, and how they made it all look so easy. And don't forget the long fringes hanging over their eyes. Flick, flick, how cool am I? My desire to become one of these icons was all-consuming, and it would eventually lead me to win my own national championships for skateboarding in my age division 3 years running, in addition to wrecking my shins, bruising my hips, and occasionally taking most of the skin off both elbows. My introduction to the world of professional public speakers followed a course that was dynamically similar. Absent with the baggy clothing and long hair, the homemade equipment and my dad driving me around. Absent also with the skinned shins, thank goodness. This time I would get to wear a suit. But the principle of seeing someone whom I desperately wanted to be like was, once again, the genesis of my deep-rooted passion. I attended a Toastmasters club meeting, and someone gave me a video of a speaker named Mark Brown, a past winner of the World Championships of Public Speaking. It rushed over me like a revelation. Watch Mark in action on YouTube. Search Mark Brown, 1995, World Champion of Public Speaking. Today I'm proud and delighted to call Mark a friend. Back then, I knew him only as the larger-than-life, unbelievably compelling and animated Jamaican-born orator, who so totally dominated a stage with such cool ease and technical proficiency as to make me completely re-evaluate whom I wanted to be in the universe. Once again, I saw a hero, and my simple gut-level reaction was, I want to be like him. Objection. We are told in pop psychology that hero worship is a bad thing, and that you shouldn't want to be like somebody else. Endless parades of motivational posters tell us that we should want to be the best version of ourselves that we can be, and something about eagles. The sentiment is good, but there's another side to the equation. Arguably, the most profound and powerful way that human beings, indeed primates in general, ever learn is by looking at others and wanting to be like them. It's innate, it's primal, and it's powerful. As children, we marvel at the big human beings who feed and clothe us. We gabble back at them and try to walk. Not because we reasoned to ourselves that these would be useful skills, but because we saw our parents do these things, and we saw the older kids doing them, and we wanted to be like them. I saw Mark Brown speak, and I wanted to be like him. It was that simple. Since then, I have won my nation's public speaking championships 5 times, and competed at the World Championships 3 times. I now speak for a living, and every time I do, I dearly cherish what I do. I don't for a second believe that I continue to imitate Mark's unique style or personality today. I've very much become my own creation. But seeing someone else being that way was the starting point, the initial motivation. The satisfaction of what I do each day is largely based on whom I get to be. It is an argument from identity, which to a sentient mammal and a self-reflective member of Homo sapiens may just be the most powerful argument of all. So, who are you? Who do you want to be? These questions just may be our strongest drivers. This compulsion to create an identity is powerful. It is ancient and inborn. It is very, very useful. And now we must reverse it. Are you what they want to be? Identity is a powerful thing. I believe that between technical proficiency and the identity you present to the world, the latter is more powerful in making you a renowned expert than the former. You can't become an expert without the knowledge. But having the knowledge does not make you iconic. Knowledge and proficiency mean entrance into the game. Your persona and the degree to which others want to be like you are the true differentiators. These separate the Tony Hawks from the also-skated, the Mark Browns from the also-spokes. It is sad but true that many aspiring experts, men and women who are brilliant at what they do not prosper to the same degree as industry icons, because they do not inspire in people a simple desire to be like them. This may not sound logical, but it is deeply human. If I don't want to be like you, I am unlikely to follow you. I am unlikely to pay to learn from you. I am unlikely to identify you as the icon. But if I see in you someone I ideally want to be, that changes everything. I will become your follower, your client, your most ardent praise singer. I'll copy your hairstyle and devour everything you create. Perhaps the sphere of life in which this dynamic is most obvious is pop music. People who like Beyoncé don't merely appreciate her music. They want to be Beyoncé, including the dress code, attitude, and perceptions of confidence. If for some reason Beyoncé declared war on Mexico, they'd be at the border with their banners, raring to brawl. Identity. Richard Branson engaged the world with the idea of the bold adventurer. When he wasn't paragliding nude into a volcano or rocketing into outer space with his toes on fire, he was speaking all over the world on the subject of breaking rules, forging new frontiers, and acting boldly. In its early days, Virgin was called the rock and roll brand, in deference to both its music outlets and the bad boy image of its founder. The effect is subtler in, say, the world of consulting, but it's still there. If you are a life coach or train corporate executives, you had better represent a script for living that your target market wants to emulate on a visceral, emotional level. You had better look, walk, talk, sound, and in every way live as your target market wishes to live. The argument from identity is persuasive, and it can suffuse all your outbound messaging. Perhaps the simplest approach is to edit out the negatives by using the guiding mantra, "Does this detract from the impression of me as someone whom they would want to be?" If so, cut it out. Delete it. Looking at the dynamic from a more active viewpoint, how might you present yourself to the world so that you more strongly represent the goal? Audit opportunity. If I saw me from afar, would I want to be me? Would I yearn to be me? If not, why not? And what could I change to make it so?